Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lynn Lara. Lynn has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all of that experience and wisdom to help you. We are here to answer your relationship questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have a concern in your life? Something that's bothering you or something that you would like to discuss? Email us at its always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now let's get started. Are you there, Lynn? Great.
I'm right here, Lee.
Hi.
Oh,
I'm
that means
good.
I'm supposed to
good.
go
How are
on.
you?
Hi, Lee. How are you, honey?
Great.
Good. I'm fine. I'm just fine. Thank you. Well, you were reading that, and I heard you. I thought,
No, they don't.
they don't know that you're a certified life coach, do they? No, they don't, but you are. You took a
Yes.
lot of training to get that certification. You paid a lot of money. So I want everyone to know that Lee is a certified life coach, and that I just
Thank you, Lynn.
am lucky to have her. That's all there is to it. Okay,
I will think about it.
Lee, you're welcome.
Okay.
Maybe we should put that in there, honey. I think so. No, why? Why do you have to think about it? Excuse me, we're going to have a disagreement
After the
right
show,
now.
I will.
Why? Why do you
Thank
have
you
to?
for
Why
suggesting
can't
that.
you just put it in? It's true. Okay.
That's right.
Well, you can't do it before the show. The show's already before it. Oh, Lord. Okay. Babe, I want you to do it because you spent a long time getting that certification. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, a letter. It's from a fellow. Actually, we actually have 2 letters from different fellows today. That's interesting. Okay. This first fellow, my girlfriend, we've been broken up for 2 months. We've been together 2 years, but we still text each other. Oh, you know what, my dog? Wait, can you give me 1 minute while he's coughing, and that's from his heart that it happens. I'm so sorry. We might have to start again. I apologize, except I like the way we started. Hey, little boy. Come here, baby. Here. Good boy. Okay. What I do, Lee, is, and the rest of you, he has a bad heart, and I love him very much. And when he does this, because he has heart medication, but when he coughs like that, I give him peanut butter. and the vet, when I talked to her, she said, no, that's fine. So, and he likes the peanut butter. And then my little female thinks she's hot stuff because she gets what he didn't get off the spoon. That's cute. Okay. All right, say, my girlfriend and I have been broken up for 2 months. Yep, and they've been together for 2 years. And now they communicate. They text each other. We dated for 2 years, and then we moved in with each other. Our relationship was up and down. She was depressed and often would be very upset, but couldn't express why. I kept on telling her to get counseling, but she wouldn't do it. Okay, come here, honey. Oh, Lee, I'm so sorry this is happening while the show's on today. Come here, honey. Not you, little girl. Come here. Okay. Okay. And the little boy's name, we got a dog at the shelter who nobody else wanted because he was so sick. So he's ours, and we love him. And my little girl I got at the shelter too, but anybody would have wanted her. She's She's worth about $1,000. But they weren't going to show her to anybody until they liked the person, and so did the dog like the person that they were showing her to. So they bring this adorable. When we have a video, I'll show her to you. She's a Japanese Chin, and they are worth about $1,000.
Okay.
And she's adorable. She's so intelligent. Okay, Leah, I promise I'm ready to start. Anyway,
Okay.
I suggest that she get counseling, but she wouldn't do it. I know that she'd had abusive relationships, and she was 20 when her mom died. Oh, that's sad. But her past and pain were always very difficult for her to talk to with me. Then we broke up, and I called a mental health clinic, and they offered counseling. So I made an appointment for her, and she kept. It's hard to read this writing. It's very difficult. She kept the appointment, and she's been going weekly now. They've been separated for 2-3 months. Let's see. Let me look back again. 2 months.
Yes.
So that means she's been going every week for 2 months. That's good. And how nice that he did that for her. What a caring thing for him to do. Now, then he says, we text every day, but we've only talked once on the phone since we broke up. She called me because she'd had a fallout with the grandparents of her daughter. So, but she texts me when she's upset. She texts me when she's had a bad day. She texts me when she's had a good day. But she will not agree to meet me for coffee or dinner or anything. I've told her I want to see her because I want us to go back together again. But she backs out. She asked me last week why I would want to date her now because she hasn't changed, and that she thought seeing each other would make it harder for us. When I asked her if it would be harder to move on or harder to be apart, she changed the subject. I explained that I want to get back together, but not till we both get to where we need to be. She didn't agree or disagree. She just listened. I don't know what to do. Lately, I've been the only one initiating texting with each other. And I'm starting to get depressed and I'm losing hope. I do love her very much.
Give her space.
And I want to get back together.
Because
what
she's
do I
walking,
do?
she's
Lee,
a back walking
what
away.
does he do?
That's what I think. I don't know.
Are we going to have
Yes.
any problem that isn't a back walking away to you? Lee got really excited. What, last week, Lee? Because I did a program on the back walking away, or 2 or 3, I don't know. And Lee loves the concept of the back walking away. And for those of you who didn't listen to the programs, listen to them. They were good, huh, Lee? However, Lee's got a back walking away here. Lee, I don't think this is about a back walking away. And I'm not trying to get you, but I don't think so. I don't think so. A back walking away is someone who's not interested. She's interested. She's feeling doubtful. Okay. And so Lee and I had a talk about this before we got on air, because I hadn't seen the letter yet from this fellow, and I said, Lee, I need another letter too. Can you dig one out of your pile of letters? And so she had to find another letter, which looks good to me, but this is very easy. Lee, he needs to get permission from his girlfriend, and that he can talk to her counselor. And he needs to have a session with the counselor. And the counselor ought to be happy to meet with him. I would be. I'd be delighted. In fact, I would have already asked my client, who's the girl, the woman in this, I would have already asked her if she could
Okay.
have her boyfriend come in, that I'd like to talk to him as well.
No, why?
Surprise, that is the answer here. It is. And do you know why? Okay, because he's a part of this. And if I were the therapist, I would truly want to talk to him and get his take on what's going on with her, only with her permission. So the way I'd work it is I would talk to her about it. And I'd say, okay, because let's pretend like he called me and I'm the therapist. So I would say, honey, John called, and I understand that you gave him permission to call. John can't call me without permission from her. Otherwise, she can be angry. Okay, and John called, and he'd like to come in and see me. And frankly, I'd very much like to see him as well. He's sort of like the unspoken voice here. And I will not tell him any of the things that you've talked over with me unless you give me permission to. But it would be very helpful for me to help you in meeting with John as well. Not ongoing, maybe just one session. Here, little boy. Here, baby. Oh, I'm so sorry. I fear this is just going to be the way it is, and I'm not going to send him away. Darn it. I'm sorry to all of you and to Lee, but he's worth it. He's just the sweetest dog. We can't touch him because he's been abused before, so nobody, he won't let you get near him, but I just have so much compassion for this child. His name is Webster or Winston. I just call him little boy. Okay, so that's what I do. I'd ask permission from John's girlfriend to please, if it's all right with her, I'd like to have John in, that he's called me, and then I'd set up the boundaries by which I'd be talking to John. And I would make sure that I understood what it was okay with her that I talk about and that I not talk about, so she understands what's going on. And then what I might do, if she's comfortable with that much, then I might, after the session with John, I'll talk to her and tell her what went on, and I might say, would you by any chance be interested in having both of you come in? You just don't know. And if she says no, I'll say, that's fine, honey. Maybe what I need to do is find a male therapist for him, and that would be okay too. Okay? What do you think of that? Good. There's nothing else to do right now. The person that can help is the therapist who's seeing her. And that therapist should want to see John. A lot of therapists don't. And they'll say, no, I don't want the boyfriend here. I have trust. But I've always had trust with my clients. I explain to them in detail, what I'm going to do so that they know. And I say, you can trust me. You can. I will not say anything you don't want me to say. Yeah. So I've never had problems with that. Some therapists do. I'm not saying they're wrong. They just they probably learned it in college. And they have a firm rule that did you learn that in college? Okay. Well, or in your certification classes. But I've never felt that way. I felt, it's going to do good for my client. It's a good thing to do for her, and it's a good thing to do for him.
Okay, let me go back and get to that.
I'm glad, hon.
Okay.
So it was easy.
This is also another long
another
one.
letter. You want
bear
to
with
read the other one, or you want me to?
Okay, here we go. Hi, my wife had an emotional affair with a man who lives in another country. They met online 20 months ago through a work connection, then communicated over online chat. It was very intimate in the early months, but it soon cooled off. It then remained intimate, but not in the same way. 3 months ago, she discovered he has other relationships ongoing like this. This is when I found out about it all. She says he broke her heart when she found out she was not his only girlfriend. She tried to, she tried to, go ahead.
Right, right. I'm telling you. You guys wait. Pay attention to this. She got hurt because, lo and behold, this guy that she's having intimate conversations with, right? Well, he turns out he was interested in other women, and she got hurt. You guys,
Okay,
it's
that's all
not
right.
a
Okay,
non-emotional
uh,
affair.
she
It's an
says he
affair.
broke her heart when she
I
found out
hate
she was not
this.
his
It's an
only
affair.
girlfriend. She
I'm
tried to
sorry,
cut him
dear.
off, but couldn't cope not being in touch with him. Once they were communicating again, she told him how much she loved him and asked if he wanted her. He said he was very fond of her, but he could not have her come to him. She was totally broken up by this. 3 months on, and has rationalized it in her mind. I don't understand that. She, okay. She says she always knew it was a fantasy, but was so unhappy in our marriage, she was open to the
I
escape.
don't understand what you're saying. Go
She
ahead.
came to value the man as a friend who understood her and made her laugh. They now continue to text each other a few times a week and talk on the phone
Oh
occasionally.
my
In
God.
truth, it does all seem to be like a friendship now, but obviously I hate the fact that they are still in contact. I can cope with it if I can win back the full
Baloney,
love of my
baloney.
wife.
Go
We
ahead.
have been deep
Sorry.
into all the reasons why my wife was unhappy, and I have understood where I was going wrong. I am totally committed not to making the same mistakes. She seems to want to make our relationship work and believes I have understood the main things that were wrong in the past. And we are reconnecting slowly, but it has been bumpy, and my wife is still mostly cold toward me and quick to anger. We do have some good times, but under the surface I am struggling. What can I do?
Oh, I can hardly wait to answer this. I mean it. I hate this stuff. Look, okay. First of all, go see a therapist. Both of you together, a marriage counselor. I hope that that marriage counselor has the good sense to know that he or she has to set a rule. The rule is, I will see you, the two of you, but you, to the wife, have to be willing to stop having any communication at all with this other fellow. Because, in effect, first of all, it's impossible for me to work with the two of you and try to help you save your marriage because you, my dear wife, are having an emotional affair. I can never help you as long as you're doing
Okay.
that. You've got to
Yes.
stop.
Yes, I agree.
Are you willing to stop? And if not, I can't see you. Okay? Are you really? That's the first thing that that therapist has to do is set a boundary that the husband has been unwilling and unable
Right.
to do yet. It's got to be done, and it's got to be named for what it is. This friendship, that's baloney. That is baloney. She's just waiting until this guy is available again. And I don't care if he lives in another country. I don't care. This is an affair. This is, you know, Yes, it is. It's an affair. And I know that people say, no, all we're doing is we're just meeting and,
Yes.
not face to face, just meeting online, and we're just having a little hanky panky. By the way, a lot of those are sexual, and that means that they're both having orgasms. That's a big deal, you guys. I don't believe at all in men and women having emotional affairs. I don't care where the person lives. Doesn't matter. This has ruined her marriage with her husband. So he needs to tell her, we're going to go see a marriage counselor. We need to. It isn't up to him to tell her you're going to have to stop talking to this guy, even though you say he's just a friend. That's up to the therapist to set a boundary with. I hope to God the therapist does. Most of them would, and they would agree. This is awful. Okay, so that's what he needs to do. Put an end to, with the therapist's help, put an end to it. And is he willing? If she's unwilling to stop writing to this other guy or talking to him on the phone or whatever they're doing,
Okay.
is he willing then to stand strong and say, then I can't be married to you? Because they don't have a marriage.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. And I thought this would be longer, but that's the first thing that has to be done. Oh, she was totally broken up by this. Excuse me, that's an affair. No sex, but very intimate in the early months, including sex chat. That is sex, you guys. It's sex. I know that they are in effect masturbating. I understand that, but it's sex, and it culminates
Right.
in
So it's mutual. It's mutual.
what am I wanting to say? What's the word I want to use? They both have orgasms.
Even though she's married.
That's sex. Sure, of course.
Right.
That's what this other guy's doing online. And she got upset because he was cheating on her. She's cheating on her husband too. She's just gotten away with it. And a lot of couples are doing this.
Yes, I agree.
Not a good thing. It will ruin your marriage. Oh, it's so sad. It shouldn't be going on. And then the marriage counselor can take it from there, because if she is willing to do that, and if the marriage counselor is really right in her face, what the marriage counselor can do then is say, okay, you're not willing to work on this marriage as long as you're going to be seeing this other fellow. And I cannot see you because, in effect, you're having an affair with someone else. I don't see clients. I used to have people who came into my office and said, I'm having an affair. My husband doesn't know, or my wife doesn't know, and I'd like to work on my marriage. And I'd say right away, then stop having the affair, and I'll work with you, and I can help you save your marriage. But I cannot help you save your marriage as long as you're in contact with this other person. I refused to do it. Somebody has to set a boundary. It's so sad because couples come in without boundaries in all kinds of ways lately. And it's because of this, it's because of the internet. It is. And they think they're not having sex. They are. That's why she got so upset. She is emotionally involved with this fellow. Let's even say it.
Yeah.
She may be in love with this fellow. She probably is. Oh, how sad for that husband. We don't know if there's children. that'll make it worse. I'll be more
I
upset
agree. It just seems
because I'm
so
caring
odd that
about him.
someone would
But
be
this is
having it.
good
They come
to
into you,
have
say, I'm having an affair, but I
hear us
want to
say
work on
this,
my
Lee.
marriage. What's actually going on
And
there?
you're agreeing with me, so yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well,
And for
maybe
some,
there are kids involved and they do, but they can't work on their marriage until they've gotten the other person out of their life. So, and I honestly would not work with them until they were willing to do that. Huh. I'm thinking about this one guy who would not go to AA meetings. I helped him quit drinking. He stayed sober for a month, but he would not go to meetings. So I gave him a month because I thought in a month's time, surely I can have talked him into going to AA meetings because I wouldn't see anybody who was going to get sober unless they went to meetings at the same time. So at the end of a month, he said, "No, Lynn, I don't want to go to meetings." So I said, "Okay, goodbye, baby. I am now firing you. You are no longer my client." "You're kidding." I said, "No, I'm serious. I want you in meetings. I hate meetings." "Well, then go see another therapist. You can find lots of therapists who don't feel the way I do." So he left. I liked him. I was sorry to see him go. I saw him. He came in. He called me, and he said, I want to have an appointment with you. Can I come in?" I said, "Sure." So he came in, and he sat down, and he said, "Lynn, I haven't had anything to drink in a whole year now." I said, "That's wonderful. Have you been going to meetings?" AA meetings, by the way, if I didn't make that clear. And he said, "No, I told you I don't like them, but I haven't drank in a year." I said, "Goodbye." I I stood up, walked to the front door, and I opened it.
yeah.
And I walked him out to his car even, and I said, "You know, I really like you, honey, but I'm not going to see you because you are shortchanging yourself. And what you're doing is you're a dry drunk.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with you." But I said, "If you want to take another year," oh my God, this house is loaded with animals. We have a cat too. Anyway, oh geez, I was probably the best thing that
You know,
ever
when you
happened to
first
him.
told me that,
And then
I
I
did not
fell and hurt my
quite
back, and
get
I
the depth of
closed
the
my
understanding.
practice up. So I don't know
But
if he ever
since we
called
have
me
worked
again
together
because I wasn't there
for so
anymore.
long,
But anyway, so
you know, when you first told me that, I didn't quite get the depth of the with the AA meeting, what you were telling him. Since we had worked together, I didn't understand that
wait,
when you
what do
said
you
he shortchanged
say what you're
himself
talking about
at
again?
this time,
You didn't get the
I
depth
totally
of,
understand what you're saying.
explain it just a little bit more.
With the AA meeting, what you were telling him, I didn't understand that when you said he shortchanged himself at this time,
Oh,
I
it's true.
totally understand what you're saying.
Oh, good. Oh, I mean, okay, quitting drinking, is just that. It's quitting drinking. But if you really want to have a wonderful life that changes dramatically in a very spiritual way, please don't think I'm talking about religion. I'm not. I'm talking about spirituality, and it will be so good for you, so wonderful for all of you. And for those of you who are not drinking, but you're married to someone who is, you get yourselves into Al-Anon. What a wonderful program. So, anyway, you guys, and everybody has come back and thanked me. In fact, I ran into a fellow it was a couple of years ago, because I don't live in Seattle anymore, but
yes,
I ran into him, and he had this pretty woman with him, and he said, "Lynn, this is my wife, and the reason that I'm married to her is because of you, and I couldn't be happier." Wasn't that nice? So
yes.
I got to see. I only had one client that I can remember who did not like me at all. Boy, that was painful, but
I'm
it
on your
wasn't my
side.
fault. She wanted me to bill her insurance company twice, and it was illegal for me to do that. I'd already billed them once, so couldn't do it for her.
Wow.
Anyway,
I'm
made
on
me
your
sad.
side.
Oh yeah, I know. So was the judge, because she sued me and she wanted money, and I didn't. Nobody got any money out of it.
Wow.
But
Well,
I mean, nothing came out of it either. I
yes, it
was
is.
right.
We're
I
at the end of
couldn't
our time.
legally,
And
yeah,
I want
I
to
wouldn't have
thank
done it anyway.
all the people that
So,
emailed
okay,
us and our
that's
listeners.
it. Is it time for us to be done?
Yes, a lot of
Yes,
emails.
it is. We're at the end of our time. And I want to thank
But I want to share
all
that
the people that
we will be back tomorrow,
emailed us
Yeah,
Wednesday,
we
and our
got a lot. We
listeners.
got a
5 p.m.
lot of
Pacific time.
emails.
Yes, a
So
lot of
until
emails.
then,
We can't work on all of
remember,
them.
it's always about
But I want to
love.
share that we will
And
be
we
back
love
tomorrow,
you.
Wednesday, 5
Good,
p.m. Pacific time.
yeah. And
So
your
until then,
animal. Good night.
remember, it's always about love. And we love you.
Yes, we do. And my
Good
animals.
night. Yeah. And your
Good
animal. Good night.